my community in action. But oh my, love the sound of that. Look, daddy, there's a book for me too. But oh my, love the sound of that. Creative affirming and culture for me too. Look, granny, I love the sound of that. Look, granny, I love the sound of that. Look, granny, I love the sound of that. Learning and exploring about history, you see. Look, mommy, I love the sound of that. We confident, we practice in the shows and fluency. Look, daddy, I love the sound of that. Families, they bonding, they representing me. Look, granny, I love the sound of that. Look, auntie, I love the sound of that. Nice, I see, I love the sound of that.
So reliable, culturally relevant. Sit back and listen to the wisdom while we represent. So reliable, culturally relevant. Readers to leaders, they hold it down where they have to sit. So reliable, culturally relevant. Sit back and listen to the wisdom while you represent. So reliable, culturally relevant. Readers to leaders, they hold it down, yeah, they have to sit.
Look, mommy, give me the read in action. Well, oh my, love the sound of that. Look, daddy, there's a book for me too. Well, oh my, love the sound of that. Creative affirming culture for me too. Look, granny, I love the sound of that.
All right, greetings, virtual village family. How are you guys doing on this Thursday evening? We are here with an extra night of programming for you all. You know, we've been Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for the fall season, but we are here on a Thursday, and we are here for a wonderful reason. You guys see beside me, I have, oh my gosh, oh my goodness.
I'm back, yeah.
It's been a while. You guys have been with us since A1 Day One. You know that we had our Virtual Village 2020 influencers. And this is Professor J, okay, beside me. And you guys remember Jameer was bringing the lightning and the thunder along with his fellow influencers. How are you doing this evening, Jameer?
I'm doing great. I'm back home in South Carolina with my grandparents and my cousins and my aunts and uncles, and just, you know, great. I'm back here on the screen in front of the virtual village. You know, it's been a minute. So, you know, I'm around all types of family. So
I think that's great. You know, I've been asking if you figured out by now, you know, I'm very inquisitive. So as you tell me about your time in South Carolina, I'm like, what's going on there? And you telling me about the fields and the family land and all of these things. And I'm like, wow, this is invaluable. I'm a country girl myself. I'm originally from Alabama, been here in VA for a long time, but I'm glad you're spending time with family. And look, you look very princely today. I'm always saying when we're up here, I'm very happy to be here in my Prince Akeem voice. And you are looking so princely today. And I love it because it fits right in the mood, because we are going to have a regal night tonight. Now, look, you guys tuning in, I'm not going to be here long, okay? Because this is all about passing of the torch. This is why I'm here. And this is why I'm excited, because all I'm supposed to do at this point in life is pass torches, build up young people. And boy, this one right here is somebody that we are truly proud of. Again, Jameer is one of our Virtual Village 2020 influencers. He is a freshman at, as he says, the illustrious Howard University. He graduated from high school with a 4.7 grade point average, if you even knew that was possible. And he is still working with us as a broadcast tech. So as we have our Virtual Village show and you see all the things that are happening behind the scenes, well, in front of the scenes, Jameer is the one who is making that happen. And we are here tonight because his professor, Dr. Bree L. Brookins, psychology professor at Howard University, and he's going to tell you more about that. She is here tonight to take us on a journey across continents, a journey across culture throughout the diaspora. It's for our little ones, but it's family programming. But the cool thing is, again, is Jameer's professor, and he is hosting this, and he's going to be facilitating this and interviewing her. And I can't express enough how proud I am. He is a freshman. Okay, that's first year of college, and he brought his professor here to his job, and he is going to be interviewing her. So how are you feeling about that, sir?
You're making me blush, Miss Star. You know what I'm saying? To hype me up and everything like that. Oh man, I was feeling great. Now I'm feeling a little bit nervous, but
oh, you're not nervous, and you know you're among family.
Sure no. But I'm just happy to be here. You know, Virtual Village, they poured so much into me, and I'm able to pour so much back out, because that's all we do is just feed off of each other so the whole village can grow. So that's for me. But really, I know a lot of people are here to know about Dr. Brookins. And like you said, we're going to take a journey across continents, across cultures, and really we're going to be able to connect with our family across in the islands as well as on the continent. So I'm more not really about me, but more so about Dr. Brookins and what's going on there, because they've seen me
Yes,
for
it's
months.
definitely about Dr. B. But I'm passing the torch to you, and I'm about to step away, and
Oh,
then you're gonna let everybody know. I got a sneak peek of what Dr. Brookins is bringing, and I'm super excited about that. And that you are our youth, and I am always gonna big you up. I'm super proud of you, and you're gonna do a great job. So Miss Star is out. All right, it's on you. You got it. All right.
all right, okay. Let's see if I can. Let's see if I still got it because it's been a minute since I've been up here, guys. So, like Miss Star said, I am Jaimir. I used to be a virtual village intern, and now I'm a broadcast tech. So I sort of graduated into that position, and I am a freshman at the illustrious Howard University, also known as the Mecca. As you can see from my attire, I wear that name on my very well. But aside from that, I really just I'm really excited to get into what's going on with the virtual village as well as sort of build off of it a little bit because like we say we're passing the torch and we've always talked about culturally affirming literature here at CCIA. So Dr. Brookins decided that we were going to take a lesson, which we've been doing with the teach-ins, because the fall season's always been about teach-ins. So we've elevated from the read-ins to the teach-ins, and now this teach-in is tied directly to culture, and not just African American culture, but Africana culture as a whole. And that's really what's special to me here. So I'm gonna give you guys just a brief bit of a rundown here. So, originally from Cincinnati, Ohio, Dr. Brookins is a Howard University alumna who currently resides in Washington, D.C. as an adjunct professor of psychology. Her research focuses on cultural influences, how culture influences the learning process. Specifically, she investigates how to create cultural congruence so that the classroom is reflective of a student's lived experience. Additionally, Dr. Brookins is the executive director of research and evaluation for the Liberation Lab, which is a Black-owned tech startup that brings digital programming centered on social justice and critical consciousness to children. Virtual Village, ladies and gentlemen, my family, I give you Dr. Brielle Brookins, my psych professor. There we go. How you doing, Doc?
Hello, friends and family. It is so exciting to be here with you today. I am really looking forward to jumping right into literacy and culture work with you all today.
Sure enough, sure enough. So, Doc, I know we got a great lesson right now. Before we get into that, because I know that we're going to talk about traveling to the islands, and then we're going to talk about traveling to the continent, and then we're going to talk a little bit about ourselves and how that relates to our culture as well with our lesson. But I just wanted to ask you a couple questions, just because people know you from what I've said from the bio, but they don't really know you like I know you. So can I ask you a couple questions, Doc, real quick, just before we get into it?
Yes, of course.
Okay, Doc. So, Dr. Brookins, what was it that led you to sort of specialize in culture with psychology?
So I always had an interest in something called identity. And identity is all about who we are, who we believe ourselves to be, and what that really means for us. So because of my interest in identity and kind of how we construct these views about ourselves, I got really involved with understanding culture. And our culture influences in big and small ways, right? Who we are, who we believe ourselves to be is influenced by our culture. So, because of that, I started to look into culture and what does culture mean and what does culture tell us about ourselves and why is that important for all the littles to know as well when they're forming and shaping their identities. So, that's how I got started on my research.
Sure enough, sure enough. Just identity, what makes you you? So I can definitely get that with that. And then another question would be, as a Howard alumna, what are your words to students still in primary education about HBCUs?
So, the great thing about HBCUs is that they create a family. And in our HBCU families, we love the little. So, at Howard University, where I have spent over a decade of my time. We have, for example, early childhood education programs. We have a middle school on campus, and HBCUs are not just for college students, right? We love to see the littles on the yard at homecoming, at the tailgate, and things of that nature. And we really see through the legacy of HBCU attendance, right? We have people who have had generations of their family at FAMU, at Prairie View, at Hampton, at Howard, at Spellhouse, right? So we really see that by introducing our littles to the wonderful world of historically Black education, we are able to grow our family tree and stretch out our roots and our branches so far. So it's very important for our littles to know all about HBCUs.
I definitely get that, because I know Howard, even though I've been going virtually, I still feel that the culture is a big part of it. So seeing how HBCUs intertwine culture and learning into that Black experience is definitely something that I think a lot of people, especially our younger ones, should look into, so we can have those strong roots and those long branches. And one of my last questions is, like, so we've discussed a bit about culture, but could you share some information about, your text or the Liberation Lab?
So currently I am working with a startup company called the Liberation Lab, and we are working to bring all sort of useful content to classrooms and to families that don't necessarily have access to them. As we know, we see with the change to digital and virtual learning, right? You guys are all with me today, about to learn, right? And continue your education from the comfort of your home. There is such a space and an opportunity for us to bring culturally relevant, culturally conscious resources to our young people, right? So through the Liberation Lab, we are working to create content and curriculum that can be distributed through the school or even used within families at home in order to give our teenage youth some opportunities to learn how they can actually work toward becoming critically conscious and build up social justice movements that are currently occurring.
Cool. I'll definitely be sure to check that out, and make sure that everyone at the virtual village, you listen in on that, because I'm sure there'll be a lot more great work from that. But Doc, the people don't want to hear me talk. They want to get into the lesson, and that's what we're going to do right after a word from our sponsors. So thank you, but we'll be right back, guys.
This episode of the Virtual Village Show has been brought to you by Truist.
Since the beginning of the pandemic, Clever Communities in Action and our community partners have taken action to motivate and inspire children and families online. From reading culturally affirming literature, teaching foundational literacy lessons, and creating jobs for youth, our virtual village continues to grow. To be part of our virtual village, donate or learn how we are keeping literacy alive, visit clevercommunities.org.
Hello, everyone. So I'm so excited to get started with you all. And the first thing we're going to talk about are pronouns. Now, pronouns are these very little words that are extremely useful when we're trying to talk about ourselves or talk about other people, right? So I'm pretty sure you probably already use pronouns every single day, even if you're not quite sure what they are, if you've never heard the word pronoun before. So let's get started. Now, some pronouns are words that we only use when we are talking about ourselves. So if a person is referring to, which means they are speaking about themselves, then they would use first person pronouns. So what is a first person pronoun? Well, let's say you wanted to tell your mom or dad that you wanted a cookie. You would use the word I. I want a cookie, Mom. I is a pronoun that we use when we are talking about ourselves. Some other types of words that we use when we're talking about ourselves are my. For example, my favorite color is green. That lets people know that you are saying your own favorite color. We can also use the word me, right? So when we use the word me, we are able to say sentences like, please give me a piece of paper. And then finally, another word that we use when we're referring to ourselves is mine, right? If you have little siblings, maybe you hear them say this word all the time, right? Maybe you have a little sibling that likes to grab a toy and say mine to show that it belongs to them. So these words help us to communicate to other people that we are referring to ourselves. These words are really handy, and throughout our readings today, I want you guys to keep a lookout for some of these words. Now, there are other pronouns. There are other pronouns that a person uses when they're talking about somebody else. So if you are talking about someone else, what types of words do you think you would use? If you are talking about someone else, what types of words do you think that you would use? You may use the word you or your, which I have used plenty of times already. Sometimes when we're referring to other people, we would use the word he or his, or she or hers, or they or their. Can you all think of a sentence that uses one of these 8 words? Could you think of a sentence that uses one of these 8 words? If you can, please share it with your friends and your family who are with you, or share it in our comments right now. So a really good sentence, right? If you have a little sibling, maybe you would say, he took some of my candy. He took some of my candy. So this is a pronoun, he, that you're using when you're talking about someone else. Aren't these words so handy? All right, guys, let's talk about just a few other words that I'm sure we will find so useful. Now, there's still some pronouns that we use, and these pronouns are used when we're talking not only about other people, but we're talking about ourselves and other people. So if a person is talking about themselves and others, they use words that put themselves with other people. What could these words be? What could these words be? So some pronouns that we use when we're talking about ourselves and other people are we, us, and our. We, us, and our. Can you guys think of maybe a sentence where you would use we, us, or our? What about we are having so much fun? We are having so much fun. Good job, everyone. I see Autumn put an example. Liam is my brother. He ate my gum. Great job, Autumn. That is an excellent use of pronouns. Now we're going to take our pronouns that we just learned and we're going to keep them in our heads as we talk about culture today. We're going to take those pronouns, we're going to put them in our pockets, and we're going to pull them out a little later, okay? So everyone grab your pronouns, grab them from your mind, put them in your pocket, and hold on to them so we can talk about them later, okay? Thumbs up. Thumbs up if you have your pronouns put in your pockets and ready to go for later. All right. So culture, what is culture and why is it important? Why would we talk about something called culture? Well, culture is extremely important. It is a part of all of our lives, right? Culture is just a word that talks about the things that your family does, what they wear, what they eat, what they believe, and the types of things that they celebrate. So when you think of culture, it really just is a way of saying what you do and how you do it. What you do and how you do it. So let's talk about some parts of culture that we are already familiar with. So a big part of culture is language. What language do you all speak? What language do you all speak? People from the same culture often speak the same language so that they can understand each other. Can you imagine how hard it would be if you didn't know what your parents were trying to tell you? That would be so exhausting, right? So people who are all from the same culture use the same language so that they can talk to each other. And different cultures speak different languages. Are you all familiar with a language other than English? Are you all familiar with any language other than English? What are some languages that your family speaks that are not English? Or maybe some languages that you've heard in your neighborhood or on television? Now, just like language, music from every culture sounds different too. So music is kind of like a type of language. We use music to communicate all sorts of things. Music can make us happy. It can make us want to dance. Music can make us feel a little sad sometimes too, right? Depending on what the music is about or how it sounds. So when we think of music, music is different in every culture, just like language is. So I see clever communities. We have friends who speak Spanish, and we have friends who speak multiple different African languages. I wonder if we'll be able to learn some words in a different language today. Let's see. It looks like we have some friends join us. It looks like we have 3 friends who join us. Oh, I see Autumn knows sign language. Sign language is very, very important. Did you know that sign language is different in different cultures too? It's amazing. So our first friend says, bonjour. And this is Haitian Creole. Haiti is an island. Haiti is an island that is actually very close to the United States. We also have a friend here in the middle that says salam. And salam is Amharic for hello. Salam is Amharic for hello. Where do they speak this language? In Ethiopia, which is located on the eastern side of the continent of Africa. We'll learn more about that today. And then finally, Jumbo. Have you all ever heard that before? Jumbo. So this is how you say hello. This is how you say hello when you are talking to someone. Again, from the continent. Jumbo. Jumbo, everyone. Do you all know how to say hello in any other languages? So all three of these words, let us know how to say hello. How to say hello. Do you know how to say hello in any other language? Do you know how to say hello in any other language? I would love to hear what language you can say hello in. We have Haitian Creole, we have Amharic on the screen, and we have some Swahili on the screen, right? Swahili, where they say jumbo, is a language that many people say that all African people should speak, so we can all talk to each other, no matter where we are in the world. Next, we're going to talk about food. And food is a very fun part of culture. Food is a very fun part of culture. I see hola, hello in Spanish in the comments. So people who live in different cultures often eat different foods. And many times the foods that people eat are the animals, the plants and herbs and spices that grow and live around them. So we can see a lot of noticeable differences in cultures when we look at the types of food that they eat. What is your favorite type? What is your favorite type of food? What is your favorite type of food? Let us know in the comments what you like to eat. Let us know in the comments what you like to eat. So here is a picture of injera, which is a food that they eat in the Horn of Africa, right? In Ethiopia, Eritrea, they eat injera. And you see there's all different types of meats and vegetables. I even see something that I love to eat. I see collard greens, which I love to eat. They eat that in Ethiopia too. Then we have fufu, which is a type of food that people eat on the western coast of Africa. A type of food that people eat on the western coast of Africa. And they use this white, soft food to pick up and scoop up meat in their stew. Looks yummy. And then finally, we have arepas. And if we look in the back, I see some plantain, which I know a lot of people love to eat. I know a lot of us love to eat fried plantain. And arepas and plantain are a food that people eat in Colombia, which is in South America. If we are in North America, many of us, South America is below. South America is below. I see that Kennedy loves chicken. I see cornbread, mac and cheese. Yum, yum. So how else do we see differences in culture? Well, we can see differences in culture based on the types of clothes that people wear. And clothing is some of the most noticeable parts of culture. The things that people wear represent where they are from. And in many cultures, what you wear and how you wear it can tell us things like whether or not you are a priest or someone who is very important spiritually, or it can tell us how many children you have. Clothes can be so expressive. What are some of your favorite things to wear? What are some of your favorite things to wear? Ooh, so let's look here. Let's look here. We have 4 sets of friends. We have 4 sets of friends, and our 4 sets of friends have on vastly different traditional wear. Vastly different traditional wear. Traditional wear just means it's different than maybe the t-shirt and the jeans that you would wear on a day-to-day basis. So first we have friends from Sierra Leone. Then we have friends from Gambia. Then if you look at this little flag, this will be something we'll see later. We have friends from Nigeria. And then finally, here we have some friends from South Africa. And these friends are from the Zulu nation. Do you like any of these? Do you like any of these outfits? Are any of these something that you would maybe like to wear? Are any of these something that you would like to wear? I see a lot of you like hoodies, dresses, blue jeans. Would you guys wear any of these outfits? I think some of them are so beautiful. Look at the bright colors. And many of them have these special types of wraps on their heads. Many of these friends have special wraps on their head. Those look especially beautiful. All right, friends and family. The last thing about culture that we're going to talk about are something called values. And values and beliefs are ideas that people share. They're ideas that people share. What does it mean to share something? So these values and beliefs can be about how people should treat each other or what rules people should follow. But they can also be about what we find special and what we celebrate, like the types of holidays that we celebrate. What are some of your favorite holidays? Now, some values are extremely important. Some values are extremely important, like community, this idea that we are stronger together and we should all help one another. Or harmony with nature, which is all about respecting the world around us. Respecting the world around us, right? Our trees, our animal friends, respecting them all and treating them with care. These are also parts of culture. These are also parts of culture. Very, very exciting. So, all this talk about culture, what are the roots of many of our cultures? Well, there are many, in fact, hundreds of cultures that come from Africa. Africa is a continent. Which means it's a very large land mass that has many different countries. Africa has over 50 different countries. Can you guys count to 50? That is so many. Now, all throughout Africa, we see that the cultures are diverse. And diverse just means that they're different from one another. But when we look all across Africa, we see that they're also similar. And similar means that they share, there's that word again, that they share things in common. So when we look at the continent of Africa and all its different countries and all the different cultures that make up those countries, we see that they're diverse and they're different, but there are many things that they share and that are similar. People who have ancestors and cultures that come from Africa, but they live in different places, are called people of African descent. Now, what does that mean? Well, you know how you have parents and your parents have parents. Your parents are your grandparents. Well, guess what? I have some news for you, and it's kind of crazy, but your grandparents have their own grandparents that were born a long time ago. And those people have their own grandparents who were born even longer ago. Wow, it's pretty intense. That's a lot of people. But if you are of African descent, that just means that one of the people in your family who were born before you were born in Africa. Wow. So that means that my grandparents could have been born on the continent of Africa. Well, okay, if my family was born on a different continent, how did I get here? Well, people of African descent, these African people who live in other places, exist all over the world. These people live in the United States of America, like me. They live in the Caribbean, they live in South America, Europe, and many other places. So these people who have family members who were born on the continent, but now they live in other places, are a part of something called the African diaspora. The African diaspora. And most of the people who left the continent of Africa went to the Americas, the Caribbean, and Europe. That's why people who look like me also live in Puerto Rico or Brazil or even Germany. That's really exciting news, guys. We're taking over the world. Now that we know some interesting things, let's go and investigate how people of African descent live throughout the diaspora. So we're going to read 2 stories. And as we read, let's try to think of the similarities and differences the similarities and differences in these two stories. Now I need you guys to pull out those pronouns that we put away. It's time to get them back out. We're going to think about your culture. We're going to think about their culture. And we're going to think about our culture. I can't wait to get started with you guys. I hope you're ready. I hope you're excited. All right, guys.
Wow, guys, that was something, wasn't it? We just learned so much. We learned about culture. We learned about our pronouns. We even learned about the African diaspora, and we even learned about our grandparents. That's a lot of grandparents. But guys, wow, it's just a lot to digest, isn't it? But that was Dr. Brookins, and she just gave us a really great lesson. But don't forget to like and subscribe on the Clever Community's Facebook and YouTube page, right? But Dr. Brookins has a story time for us, and we usually do two things. We usually do one story, but now we'll have two, because remember that African diaspora? We'll be going to Jamaica and we're going to Nigeria. So pay attention to that. But we'll have a word from our sponsors right after this.
This episode of the Virtual Village Show has been brought to you by Truist.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I hope you guys are ready. I hope you got to wipe some of that sweat from your brow, pull out those pronouns, and get excited for our journey across the African diaspora. Are you guys ready? I need to see some thumbs up if you're ready. I need to see some hands clapping if you're ready. Show me that you're ready to start our stories. Now, the first story we're going to start is Anya Goes to Jamaica. Anya Goes to Jamaica. Have any of you guys ever been to Jamaica? Do any of you guys have family from Jamaica? Were any of you guys born in Jamaica? Jamaica is an island in the Caribbean. I'm really, really excited to see what Anya does in Jamaica. How about you guys? Are you guys excited? All right, I see some yeses. I see some hand claps. All right, guys, let's jump into it. Anya Goes to Jamaica. My name is Anya, and I am a world traveler. Hi, Anya. Can you guys say hi, Anya? I love to visit new places and learn about different cultures. Oh yeah, guess what we just did? I think she's on to something. This is my magic globe. Ooh, this is my magic globe. It takes me on exciting adventures all around the world. My favorite part about visiting new places is getting to know the people who live there. I love learning about what they eat. I love learning how they play. I love learning what they wear. I love learning how they do their hair. When I'm ready to take a trip, I close my eyes tight, spin my globe like this. Wow. Let's see what happens. Wow, we landed in the beautiful country of Jamaica, an island in the Caribbean Sea. Friends, can you see that flag? That flag, it looks very pretty. Let's see if we can learn about it. The Jamaican flag is black, green, and gold. The country's capital is Kingston. Here in Jamaica, you will hear people speak patois. Wagon. This means what's going on. Everything is ari. This means everything is all good. Patros is a big part of Jamaican culture. But Jamaicans also speak English, just like me. Jamaica has tropical weather. Most days it's hot and the sun is shining bright. What are some things people are doing since it's so hot? Look in the picture. What are they doing because it's so hot? The ocean breeze cools the island down at night. How beautiful, friends. The beaches are a great place to relax on hot summer days. You can swim, eat, shop, and even ride a horse along the shore. Friends, have any of you ever been on top of a horse? In Jamaica, there are lots of fresh fruits, vegetables, and seafood. They cook with herbs and spices to make everything yummy. Fish, rice and peas, and festival to fill my tummy. Anya looks like she's enjoying herself. Have you guys ever had Jamaican food before? Have you ever had Jamaican food? I have a friend named Jody Ann who lives in Montego Bay. Montego Bay is another city in Jamaica. Her house is bright pink and sits on top of a hill. Hi, Jody Ann. Hi, Anya. Jody Ann's mom has long, pretty dreadlocks in her hair. Oh, look at her hair. It's so nice. I wonder what I would look like with dreadlocks. Their yard is full of flowers and fruit trees. Jody Ann climbs the mango tree to get us a sweet treat. Friends, do you guys like mangoes? Do you all like mangoes? Look at how many Anya has in her dress. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mangoes. After our snack, we play a board game called Ludi. Then we dance to some reggae music. My mom used to play reggae music when I was growing up. It is great music to dance to. It's getting late, but I need to make one more stop to buy a souvenir at Miss Rita's shop. I wonder what Anya's gonna get. I had so much fun in Jamaica. I enjoyed the beaches, the music, the food, and the games too. What I liked the most of all was sharing it with you. Aww. Here's something special so you will always remember our adventure. See you next time, wherever the magic globe takes us. Wow. How many of you guys like that trip to Jamaica? I see one of our friends says Ludo is in Nigeria too. It is. And when we go to Nigeria, I think you guys might see another familiar game. Let's keep in mind these things that are the same all around the world, right? With people of African descent. Now let's see what happens when Anya goes to Nigeria. Ooh, we've heard about Nigeria today, haven't we? All right, Anya, let's see what's going on. So first we have a Nigerian proverb, and it says, "A child who is carried on the back will not know how far the journey is." I wonder what that could mean. My name is Anya, and I am a world traveler. I I love to visit new places and learn about different cultures. Friends, if you look in Anya's house, I think I see something familiar. What about you guys? Do you see something familiar? All right, Anya, let's see what's going on. This is my magic globe. It takes me on exciting adventures all around the world. My favorite part about visiting new places is getting to know the people who live there. I love learning what they eat. I love learning how they play. I love learning what they wear. I love learning how they do their hair. Oh, what do you think is happening, friends? The magic globe. When I'm ready to take a trip, I close my eyes tight and spin my globe like this. Friends, wow! We landed in the country of Nigeria. Nigeria is located on the western coast of the African continent. We know all about the African continent now, don't we, friends? The Nigerian flag is green and white. The country's capital is Abuja. Ooh, welcome to Nigeria, everyone. Welcome to Nigeria. Nigeria is divided into 36 states with over 250 ethnic groups. Wow. Each group has their own language and heritage. If a group of people have language and a heritage, what is that called? What do we talk about, friends? What do we talk about? Culture. So there's over 250 different cultures just in Nigeria. Wow. The country's official language is English. Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba are also very common languages throughout the nation. Friends, are any of you or your families from Nigeria? Do any of you guys speak that language, those languages? Nigeria has a tropical climate. Friends, where else has a tropical climate? With only 2 seasons. How many seasons do we have in America, friends? I know many of our friends are in America. How many seasons do we have? The dry season brings hot temperatures and dry air. The wet season brings heavy rains and cooler days. Lagos is the most populated city in Nigeria. It is one of the fastest growing cities in Africa for business and technology. The city of Lagos is made up of the mainland and an island connected by a long bridge. Like many large cities around the world, Lagos is known for its culture and excitement. Ooh, let's see what's going on. I have a friend named Nwuli who lives in the suburb of Ikeja, Lagos. Nwuli lives with her brother, Golibi, and her sister, Eben, her mom, and dad. Say hi, Nwuli. Nwuli's mom makes us some akara for snack. It's delicious. Akara is like this fried treat. It's so yummy. After we eat, her dad and brother teach me how to play a game called Ayo Ayo. The rules are simple, but you have to play wise to win. The goal is to capture the most beads in your bin. Now, this game looks kind of familiar to me, friends. Maybe some of your parents have played it before. This game looks kind of familiar to me. Have any of you guys played this game before? What do you call it? Today, we are going to the Celebration Music Festival. A music festival? It is a yearly celebration of Afrobeat music and its creator, Fela Kuti. Oh, I see somebody loves akara. That's made of ground beans. And people eat it in Brazil too. I see some diaspora connections, friends. I see some connections. I really enjoyed the music and started dancing with my friends. The singer on stage is wearing a beautiful gele and a matching dress. Friends, do you see those beautiful wraps they have on their head? It looks familiar, like the picture of the Nigerian friend we saw before. I imagine myself in a beautiful pink and yellow gele and dress. Aww. There are lots of tasty foods to try at Celebration. I'm having suya, boli, and roasted corn. Friends, have you ever had any of those before? Everything tastes great. I think that might be a diaspora connection. The good food everywhere you go. It's getting late, but before I go, we'll drive down to Leaky Market to get a souvenir to take home. I wonder what we'll get this time. Nigeria is such a diverse and inviting country. Friends, remember we learned the word diverse? What does diverse mean again? I enjoyed the music, the food, the games, and the fashion too. What I liked most of all was sharing it with you. Here is something special, so you will always remember our adventure. See you next time, wherever the magic globe takes us. Bye, Anya. It was nice hanging out with you this evening. Wow, friends, we went to Jamaica and Nigeria. What? Without even having to leave our homes? How many other people can say that they've done that? I mean, nobody. All right, friends, so we have one last activity that we're going to do together in just a little bit.
Hey, Doc. Oh, man. I've only been to Japan, so being able to travel to Jamaica and Nigeria tonight, that was great with Anya.
Yes.
And we really focus on those diasporic connections. And I think, like you said, my favorite had to be the food because it's always good. It's always good. What else? And the clothes.
Yes, such beautiful, bright, vibrant colors and clothes and fashions. That seems like a similarity anywhere we go as well.
Another similarity, though, is definitely the fun. Anya had so many friends and their parents, and everyone just seemed to have fun, kind of like what we're doing tonight. So make sure that more people have fun, just like Anya, and make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube and you share on Facebook. Because, I mean, we're the virtual village, and the more we grow, the more we can just travel the globe, just like Anya, all from home. So, with that, Doc, you said you had another lesson or another something for us today? You're muted.
I have a cute, very fun, quick activity that you guys can take to share with your family or your friends or your siblings to keep thinking about how people across the African diaspora are alike and different.
Okay, cool. So a little bit of homework for the virtual village. That's new, but it's always good because this is how we music. Definitely. I know we talked about Afro beats and reggae, but even just here in America, we have so much. There's the blues, R&B, rap. Doc, what's your favorite type of music?
Oh, I love R&B music. I love it so much. Definitely a favorite of mine personally. What about you, Jamir?
Oh man, that's a tough question. Mostly rap, but I do love jazz. Like I'm a huge Miles Davis fan. Miles Davis, David Brubeck, who else? And Goodbye Pork Pie Hat is probably one of my. Miss Star said Soul. I mean, there's just so much variety here, and it's kind of like even within the states, we have our own little bit of diaspora just from all the different areas.
Definitely.
But the lesson.
Yes, friends. So we are going to look at something fun that you guys can take and do with your friends and family at home. So the first thing that we can do that I suggest you all take advantage of is making this cool little chart. And I have two flags here, friends. Do you know what countries these flags represent? What country is this the flag for? And what country is this the flag for? And on my piece of paper, you can see I have a few sticky notes. One for language, one for music, one for food, and one for clothing and hair. I suggest that you guys recreate this with your families and try to see what you can remember from our story. What can you remember from when Anya went to Jamaica and when Anya went to Nigeria? And then another fun activity that you can do at home is to think about your own culture, my culture, right? Use those pronouns that you use when you refer to yourself. And in my culture, we eat collard greens and cornbread, right? Think of the words my, mine, me, I. Then I want you to think of one of the countries Anya went to. What do they do in their culture? And I want you to draw or write those things here in this circle. And then when we put green and red together, what color do we get? When we put green and red together, what color do we get? I want you to talk about things that are in both, in this yellow space, that are part of your culture and that other culture. And this is the our culture section, right? And you use the word our, we, us when you're talking about yourself and other people. So friends, I hope you take these two activities. I hope you get to do them with your family, your friends, your parents, your siblings, your grandma, your aunties, whoever's around, and take them on a small journey through the African diaspora. Thank you so much, friends, for coming and joining me today. I'm really excited to have you all here, and I love being a part of Clever Communities in Action.
There we go. Wow, guys. So Doc Brookins gave you guys homework too. So now we're kind of twins in that way. But Doc, it's been a great show. We've gotten to travel across the diaspora, learned our pronouns and how to use them effectively, as well as just sort of make those connections. Because while we are virtual, that doesn't stop us from being a family. And that's probably one of the biggest things. So thank you for teaching us about culture, as well as how to use our culture and our identity to sort of help our literacy skills, because that's what we're all about here.
Yes, absolutely. Anytime.
Now, Doc, before I let you go, I have to do this thing. And it's a pretty big deal here, because whenever someone comes on the show, right, we are the virtual village, right? And we are a family, right? So I have to induct you formally into the literacy gang. Now, this literacy gang is a gang that you cannot leave. So once you're in it for life. And I think
wow.
It's a pretty big deal. It's a pretty big deal.
It's a big deal.
So, drum roll. Welcome. You're now a part of the literacy gang.
Hey!
Communities in Action.
I'm in here. Yes, I'm so excited to be a part of the Clever Communities in Action gang. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really, really excited to see all the work that you guys do, helping to bring literacy to our littles, especially in time like this.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you. And do you have any last words before we sort of get things going?
The only thing that I can say is please, please, please continue to think about how we are all connected to one another, and think about your roots again and those branches that we have reaching out to different places, and try to keep your community in mind.
Thank you. Thank you. That is a charge from my professor to the virtual village, and we'll be sure to keep that in mind. So as we get ready to sort of wind down here, we just want to remember to make sure that you like and share, and you sort of subscribe as well, and you spread the message, because the virtual village here, we're only getting bigger. We're only getting bigger. I mean, we just got another bison into the literacy gang, and there'll be many, many more if I have anything to say with it. So with that, guys, I just want you to know you've had a great night, and I hope to see you guys next week. You be safe.
Look, mommy, community in action. But oh my, let us down to that. Look, daddy, there's a book for me too. But oh my, let us down to that. Creative affirmation and culture for me too. Look, granny, and let us down to that. Look, granny, and let us down to that. Look, granny, and let us down to that. Learning and exploring my history, you see. Look, mommy, and let us down to that. We confident, we practice and develop fluency. Look, daddy, and let us down to that. Families, they bonding and representing me. Look, granny, and let us down to that. Look, I'm here, let us down to that. Nice, I see you, let us down to that.
So reliable, culturally relevant. Sit back and listen to the wisdom while we represent. So reliable, culturally relevant. Readers to leaders, they hold it down where they have to sit. So reliable, culturally relevant. Sit back and listen to the wisdom while you represent. So reliable, culturally relevant. Readers to leaders, they hold it down, yeah, they have to sit.
Look, mommy, community in action. Well, oh my, let us down to that. Look, daddy, there's a book for me too. Well, oh my, let us down to that. Creative affirmation culture for me too. Look, granny, let us down to that.